Welcome to the B2T show, where we empower Christian patriots with truth. This is Rick, your host. Welcome to the show here on Thursday, March 26th. Wow, we have a lot going on, and new Q post. We got Austin being exposed, Austin Steinbart. We have Traitors being called out and hunted. How exciting is that? Wow. And then I have so much news, I don't think I can get through it all, but I'm going to try to get through as much as I possibly can. There's just so much here. There's threads that I could do 3 shows easily, but I've taken what I think is the best for you, and we'll knock it out in an hour. So let's see what we can get through in 1 hour. So again, there's a lot of Q going on here. Before I do that, let me go to just to say hi to everybody just real quick. I like to do this to say Caffeine Addict was first saying, "Evening. Don't forget to wash your hands," he says, with a little cute a couple of emojis. Isabel Hill, thank you for coming on. Sherry from Indiana. Isabel from Wisconsin. I see Dan from UK. So where else are we from? I got my backstage cameras in the way. Let me move that for a second. What do we have? We got Pamela from Texas, and we got LA in the house, and Tennessee in the house, and another California in the house. A lot of Californians. Appreciate you guys all joining from there. Arizona's in the house. I see Canada in the house. So thank you guys so much for being here. Louisiana's in the house. Australia. All Patriot from Australia. I love it. All right, let's get rolling here. We are talking about a bunch of new Q that we'll go over here in just a second. You can see 3903. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tweets, I believe it was. Yep, and we got another one of these. The silent war continues with 2 dots. Remember, we were counting down from 4 to 3 to 2, but we got another 2 dots, so it looks like we have some more time to wait to see when all that happens. This is March 23rd, so this is the first one on March 26th. The silent war continues. And so that's exciting that we got these 4 drops. We're going to go over those in just a second. Let me go to the sponsor of Rate Family. Again, this is ratefamily.com, because death in the family can be hard, but unfortunately we all have to deal with it sooner or later. All of us have to leave behind final expenses such as funeral costs, medical bills, and other debts. In fact, the average funeral loan costs between $8,000 and $9,000. Having no insurance when you die can leave your loved ones with a huge bill to deal with, and no one wants that. Take control of your family's destiny today and have the satisfaction they will be financially taken care of. So visit ratefamily.com and get a free quote. You can select the best plan to fit your needs and budget. Burial expense is very easy to budget, for you can even choose how and how often to make payments. Some members pay as low as $36 a month due to income level. Again, visit ratefamily.com. That's RATE family.com. Or you can call the 855-919-RATE. Again, that's 855-919-RATE. You'll be glad you did. Let's get to these Q drops. Look at this. So again, there's a tweet here before he says the silent war continues. ... 2 dots are really key, because if you go back and just do a real quick search, I'm not going to do that in the interest of time. But again, you can go to qmap.pub. Just go to the little menu, search. Type in the silent war continues. You see we're going from 4 to 3 to 2, right? And people are doing calculations on the timing. Haven't seen any updates on any theories on that. We'll get to that soon. But there's also a tweet here he has of education for lives. And this is an awesome video, by the way. It says, "Please share this video, is outstanding. This is educating liberals." It's interesting that I wasn't following this guy, and my brother told me about it just a few days ago. So I started following him. He's probably going to go on my list. I may be letting everybody know about. It's going to be my top 30 red-pilled Christian patriots, or maybe I'll just be more like the where we go all patriots on Twitter that I follow to get a lot of my news. And this is the new one, and he happened to get queued a few days later after, and this is a beautiful video. So get this out, get this tweeted out. I already retweeted it with a comment. Now I'll retweet it without a comment, and then so you can retweet with a comment or without a comment. And just liked it there, and once you click on this, you can get this to play within your Twitter, or you can click right here on YouTube, and it actually goes to YouTube, right? I prefer to go to YouTube. You get a little more controls. You can like the video, you can get the transcript, all that type of stuff. So that's what I do, is I actually come into the Twitter viewer and then hit YouTube to actually watch it. And you can see from this, it's a 4-minute and 20-minute video. Beautiful. I'm just going to play the first part of it. Here we go. Oops, I don't have, something's wrong with my audio there. Let me check to see what's going on there. That is weird. That should be working based on everything the way I have it set up. So I'm just going to do a quick check on one setting. Give me a second. That should be working. Yeah, I got everything set up correctly. So for some reason, it's just not being nice today. So, but I can see the audio is not working for you guys. So, but play that. That is an awesome video. That is the truth by @Payne's Angels, and it goes through just some great truths, showing the traitors all over the place, and goes through some just great graphics and videos, and really gets blunt about what's happening right now. That's what I love about it. And so the fact that Q posted this, you can see it's already got 151,000 views now. And so this is a thing to share, move on, understand. Beautiful. It talks, and it's in the blunt language of calling people snowflakes and calling them out, right? The truth out. That's $38.99. If you go to the next one, $3,900, talking about treason. This is Department of Justice, the Office of Justice programs, and you'll see here there is another New York Times Archives article that talks about these things. 2381 to 2390. If you see this, you have to actually subscribe to the New York Times to actually get the archive and all that crap. But it shows you this archive from September 16th, 1863. The habeas corpus suspended throughout the United States in certain specific cases. And I think you know that Barr asked Congress to actually enact this, and they obviously rejected it because they know it could get them in jail. But I think it eventually will get enacted, in my opinion. But here's what Q's talking about, and he just shows us the different articles here. It says 2381, treason. 2382, misprision of treason. 2383, rebellion or insurrection. 3884, seditious conspiracy. 2385, advocating the overthrow of the government. 2386, registration of certain organizations. 2387, activities affecting armed forces generally. 2388, activities affecting armed forces during war. 2389, recruiting for service against the United States. And 2390, enlistment to serve against the United States. And then there's this whole code that you can go see where here it is all. There it is all right there. Chapter 115, treason, sedition, and subversive activities. Why would Q post all this right now? Because I think that's what's going on. We are going to get a awesome military tribunal shows, I believe, all through 2021 and 2022. And I do think that a lot of the arrests they're probably doing now during this coronavirus cover is going to be primarily, I think, the muscle. I don't have hopeful expectations that there's going to be a bunch of the Hillary Clintons and the Obamas again. I don't think they're going to get arrested until they can't walk down the street. That's going to be after the Guardians of the Pedophile movie they talk about, right? Once everybody knows, I'm talking your lefty friends, know and want them arrested. That's when the big names are going to be arrested. So that is my opinion and prediction. So don't get overly excited about there's going to be some blackout from the 1st to the 10th, and you for sure need to go tell your lefty friends that that's going to happen, and if the prediction happens, they know you're right. Don't do that. I'm a 2% hopeful that there'll be a 10 days of darkness and a ton of arrests. I'm 98% pretty positive that this is going to be a 3 or 4 year ride, guys. So be patient, pray like mad that that this virus halts and we get the economy back, and I'm sure they're going to do a lot of arrests to clean out the muscle and reduce the power further of the satanic cabal. But we're in this for a long haul. So that's my opinion, okay? I know people disagree with that, and there's a lot. And what I showed you yesterday with the 10 days of darkness, and I had people asking me about, I'm talking to my lefty friend, I'm going to tell them about these dates, and then they'll believe me. No, don't do that. That's going to backfire on you, 98% chance in my opinion. So don't do that. don't believe dates. That's where people get in problem. This is a military intelligence operation taking a 200-year-old cabal out. So to think that we are going to be able to do that and we're going to know the dates when it happens, when there's enemies everywhere, we're trying to fool these guys. And these boards are about fooling them, not about giving them our military plans and dates. So the chances of that happening on those dates are almost zero, especially now that we guessed them. It's going to be more like biblical prophecy, where you really can't see it until you go back and go, oh my goodness, that war to get Israel in 1947 was the fulfillment of prophecy, regardless of the fact that the Rothschilds ran it. God can use evil for good. So anyway, those are just examples, in my opinion, of what you need to be careful of. But this is pretty cool. Talks about enlistment to serve against the United States, Q, as he gives all those. And that is 3,900. And I'm going to go over a thread with a whole treason thread that In the Matrix gave that was awesome. I'm not sure if he went over on his show today, he and Shady, but it was very good. I just looked at it a second ago. 3901, here's the redrop of the Patriot versus Traitor, defining the Traitor and the Patriot, right? It's got an American flag here. It's got this big long name, PNG. Always look at that. People search on these numbers, and it kind of brings up books and stuff that he wants us to point to, etc. But this says, too, Patriot, a person who loves, supports, and defends his or her country and its interest with devotion. And I'll add that Praying Medic includes that. Joe M includes that. Julian Drum. All these guys on Twitter that are being criticized and called morons are actually patriots, right? So if you believe somebody that got called out today very clearly and calling everybody a moron, including me, for basically telling them where, you know, because you know where the QAnon got the biblical verses of Ephesians. There's this big secret. It's pretty logical. He got it from the Bible because the Q team loves the Bible. Q plus loves the Bible. The Q team loves the Bible. They didn't get it because somebody memorized it in a grade school. Okay, that's very clear. That's all I said in a tweet, and I got called a moron that was slandering somebody for just telling them, answering the question. The question was, come on, you QAnon Pharisees, just tell me, where did Q get these verses? He got it from the Bible, idiot. He got it because because the Q team loves the Bible. Okay? So now I'm probably with the CIA, very high level CIA, because he's got a lot of knowledge, I'm going to get hacked like mad, probably. And I'll probably be off there because none of my stuff will work, right? But hey, I'm just telling you the truth of what's happening right now. And pray for protection on me, because everybody's scared of this guy. He's threatening, and you'll know who I'm talking about here in a second. Number 2, it says, what else is a patriot? A person who regards himself or herself as a defender, especially of the individual rights against presumed interference by the federal government. So again, I'm just going to say, who's the patriots? A lot of patriots in this white hat movement, and including everybody that's being called out. Jordan Sather, even though he got a messed up view of God, obviously is a patriot, right? So is he an idiot? Just real. Who's a traitor? A person who betrays another, a cause, or any trust. So who's betraying the QAnon movement? Well, it's who I'm talking about, right? Dustin Emos is another example. Dustin Emos' video shows him for what he is. Fake. Yeah, Dustin Emos did a great video on that as well. So thanks, Gene, for being here as a moderator. For Lou and others, thank you so much. And tell you what, that this is, again, that's the definition of somebody who comes into this movement and claims they're Q and Q plus. Q plus is him in the future. Give me a break. It's very clear based on the call sign of the Air Force One changing to actually say Q plus that Trump is Q plus. That's at least what most people think right now, right? And a person, and what's another traitor? A person who commits treason by betraying his or her country. What are they doing? This is just what Alex Jones is doing. It's what Lenin talks about. Remember, in Russia, how did they take over all those millions of people? They fooled them with taking over the media, just like they have done now, and then using disinformation and actually controlling the other side, the opposition. So how do you control opposition? You lead it yourself. That's what Vladimir Lenin taught. You lead it yourself. And Q's clearly told us that Alex Jones is controlled opposition, and so is Steinbart. Clearly controlled opposition, and Q calls him out here clearly. He fits this as a traitor. Who else fits this traitor? All the people we've been talking about. Hillary and Obama and all the people that took down Seth Rich, right? So you have to include even Fox News hiring Donna Brazile. Are you kidding me? Obviously, Fox News is controlled opposition. That's why you got to be extremely careful of the mainstream media on all sides, including Fox News, which is now controlled opposition. Obviously, there's good characters in there, such as the Sarah Carters and the John Solomons, etc., right, including Sean Hannity. But they are controlled. They are told what they can and cannot do. So be careful of only watching Fox News, right? And here's the one that Q. Thank you, Q, for doing this, by the way. If Q's listening or anybody else on the Q team, thank you so much, because this guy is threatening. He's threatening Praying Medic. I mean, Praying Medic had to skip this in his decode today because they live similarly close together. The guy's brandishing guns and threatening him just because he's called out for his infiltration of this movement. So this guy is a dangerous person. He obviously is. It backfired on the CIA, the clowns. The clowns were using him to give some very good information. Probably 90% of it was true. But he was about right. He was now getting people to actually harass a lawyer, harass a company, probably going to violence next. Right? So when did Q ever ask us to harass a person? When did Q ever ask us to harass a company? Q has not asked us to sit there and call everybody on their call center, and has not asked us to call people on their personal line and flood them with emails. If you're doing that, you're being controlled by controlled opposition. Again, what does Vladimir Lenin say? The best way to control the opposition is to lead it ourselves. That's a favorite CIA clown technique. And for him to re-put this up, to say important, no private comms, past, present, or future, no comms made outside of this platform. Any claims that contradict the above should be considered fake news and disregarded immediately. Where we go one, we go all, and all capitals, Patriots, Q. Can that be more clear? Now I want to address one thing as well. Do you believe that these Q posts are as true as they were back when it was on 8chan? I mean, 8chan went to 8kun. 8chan is a Japanese word, I think, for child, and 8kun is like the Japanese word for a young adult, and it's the same owners, the same board member. We know him. We can follow him on Twitter. He's awesome. The board owner, right? The clowns take out 8kun by influencing all these clown companies around them, right? And Q actually tells us through the IP address that he is eventually going to get the board safe on a DoD server, Department of Defense server. Same owner, same board owner, tells us he's moving over there through the IP address. Now he's there. Same trip. He's using his trip code, so we know it's Q. And what does this clown say? He says that we are all using outside comms because we went from 8chan to 8kun. That is massively incorrect logic. So please, can we bury this and come where we go one, we go all? Anybody who's calling everybody morons who've worked their butts off for this movement are not showing signs of the Pharisees. Pharisees actually believed in man-made laws, and their heart was not in it. You don't think Joe M's heart's not in this? You don't think Julian Rum's heart's not in this? You don't think my heart's not in this? The Pharisees' hearts were hardened. And so the definition of a Pharisee, go back and look biblically, we can talk about what a Pharisee really is. A Pharisee is not somebody who studies the Word of God like the Berean Jews did. The Berean Jews were more noble characters than the Thessalonica Jews, right? Because they examine the scriptures every day to see what Paul said was true. And that's what in the Matrix is doing, and that's what Jason Sather and Praying Medic were all looking at the actual text of Q to see if what he's saying leads us to truth that we can tell you guys about, right? So anyway, I just want to make sure you guys completely understand this is the hammer, and anybody who does not take what Q's saying here is not, be careful who you follow, is all I'm saying. So anyway, that's going to be enough of that, but we're going to get into a little bit more. The last one was 3903. All it said was infiltration instead of invasion. Now it's in brackets, so it makes me wonder what this is. I think this is a double meaning because it's saying it's not going to work. Obviously, they're trying to infiltrate the Q movement, I think is one of it. And I think it's back to this whole subject of this one here. There's no outside comms. It also is a meaning that they tried to infiltrate the United States to completely bring it down, right? Or any white hat that's tried to ever fight it. That's what the 200-year-old cabal does. They take your jobs away, or they take your life, or they threaten you, or they sometimes, but this infiltration instead of invasion, I think is a double meaning, going back to no outside comms as well as the treason, right? So that's my opinions there. Let's refresh to see if Q's posted anything else. But what an awesome day to get posts from QAnon, right? Here's this educating liberals thing I just showed you. And there's that. So the newest one we have right here is the Matrix thread, which is treason. So now we can get back to the real important stuff. Look at this. Remember Q drop here, 330 says, we have a special place picked out for GS. Really special. Q. There's GS right there. Mr. GSORS. George SORS. I already said Seth RICH and other things, so this video will not be monetized. Of course, none of mine are anyway. Here's 18 U.S. Code 2381. Treason is, and this is talking about the end of this is guilty of treason and shall suffer death or shall be imprisoned not less than 5 years or fined under this title, but not less than $10,000, and shall be incapable of holding any office under the United States. Now we got pictures of Bill and Hillary and Uma and Schumer and Obama and Valerie Jarrett. We have Kerry. We have the Attorney General here. So we Holder. We got everybody listed here. And then it go. Also, this one continues. It actually shows Clapper and Brennan and Comey and McCabe and Shifty Shift and Susan Rice and all kinds of other that we all know very well that are here. There's No Name. Let the unsealing begin. Let the D-class begin. Let the world witness the truth. Placeholder, acts of treason plus support articles. Place foreign act pub. So there's this could be a little major marker that he's going back to the treason issue. This is a bunch of graphics showing exactly all the treason that's happening with what happened in Haiti. And there's a bunch of Haiti information that you can dig into. So I'm not going to have time to go over this, but I just want to let you know that In the Matrix and Shady did a great job on a full treason thread, right? Big Air. Pelosi admits travel to North Korea. Remember that? Archive immediately. They have tried to cover this. The fact that got out is just amazing. You can't hide. These secret societies are having a really hard time hiding in the day of the internet and a bunch of awesome autists and anons, and that is amazing. See, it's giving me a warning over here. Just want to make sure the connection's good. Let me just check this real quick. Yeah, it looks like the connection's real good, so the warning on YouTube is just talking about bitrate changes. Okay, here we are. Lynch says she regrets tarmac meeting with Bill Clinton, and here, obviously she was offered the Supreme Court position. We know that'll be coming out pretty soon. Supreme Court, Laura Lynch deal, AS 187, showing that Anthony Scalia was actually murdered, and that's what these guys don't care. They're the cabal. They're the cabal. They'll do anything to win this. So I see Gene talking, but I got some of the stuff in my way. Let me see if I can move this around. It says pass into law everything getting $1,200 if you make under $75,000 a year. That was passed. $2,400 for a married couple making under $150K. So if you make under $150K and you've got a couple kids, just think about $2,400 coming your way. You got to love that. Of course, that has to get through the House. Well, I'm not sure if that passed the House yet. I know it passed the Senate, but I don't think Nancy's too lazy to even talk about it, and they're reading the bill, and they're going to vote on it Friday, I believe, is the last I heard on that. So this thread goes really long, and it's a great talking about, there's Feinstein there, and all the dealing she did with China to sell us out. And you can see Time Magazine. What do they say? They say the criminals are actually us, the people actually doing what's true, right? The NSA has it all, says Lou. That's exactly right. It's exciting times. It's exciting times. Now here's Q 3903 and Q 3900 directly related. Q warns journalists Article 1 is not cover for misprision of treason. And you can see here it is. It's $500 for each child. You got to love that. Here you have it, U.S. Congress misprision of treason, and it goes through this type of stuff. And the whole point he's talking about, if JFK's address, he reminds a journalist that theirs is the only business with specific protection of the Constitution, Article 1. The intent of the founders was that our nation's press responsibly keep the public informed of the actions of our government. JFK softly chastises the press of his time for revealing too much. But JFK's main point is that every citizen, including journalists, has the obligation to act for the sake of the common good of our republic, and especially to the responsibility to inform the public. So it said that post it. Q cites JFK's address here in conjunction with Q 3900 to remind our present daily journalists that their protections under Article 1 of the Constitution are established for the common good of the citizenry of the Republic. Their positions as journalists will not stand as protection and cover for the concealing of failing to disclose and make known to the President or to some judges of the United States knowledge of any treason against them, the United States. Journalists are citizens first. The Constitution is not a license to undermine our republic. So a lot of great stuff there by that Anon on vote.co. Let's talk a little bit more about Austin Steinbart. I'm sure that, again, he might just hack the heck out of me, because it seems like all the other Anons are shying away from confronting him right now. And I'm just not going to do that, guys, because I just saw this guy as a major threat, because his videos are really good. As Gene says, he looks like AI. He never talks for more than 10 or 15 seconds before it clips to the next one. Clips very, very well-defined talking points, and he's got other new accounts coming up and doing videos and supporting it all, and they're all professionally done. This is a big exercise. Just like Alex Jones's stuff is all professionally done, this is the way Austin Steinbart is coming out at us. He's incredibly sophisticated AI talking points from clowns, from the C_A, very clearly. And he's got great information, and he's obviously has a true history. That's true. He probably even knows that Trump is about ready to do something with New Zealand in a couple of weeks. And he's going to use it as a proof. That's not proof he's Q. It's proof that he's got inside information. He's also, the very thing we're fighting against is a justice system that's not two-tiered. He says he got billions of dollars by how? By insider trading, getting information from the future to basically, so all the people that sold their Bitcoin to him, and he makes all this money on it, got screwed, right? He also says he's breaking all these laws, doing all these things, and he's above the law. We're trying to get rid of anybody that's above the law. We're talking about nobody being above the law, including this clown. So that's not what Q's about. Q's not about coming and trying to be a person who's above the law. Q's not about a person who's about ready to actually get wealthy illegally in an unfair fashion to those who sold their Bitcoin to him, as an example, right? So the insider trading, breaking all the laws, above the law, can do anything they want, that is not who Q is. Q is a patriot. Q is a team of patriots. And the way it was explained is completely wacko. Okay, Gene, do you have something to say?
Yeah, he brags about how he has drugs and weapons that are unregistered in his home. Q is about the law applies to everybody, about no one above the law. He also doesn't use mind control techniques. That's neuro-linguistic programming that he uses. All the constant talking and the voice variations and the chop and clip stuff that's jumping around. It's a way to keep your mind dazed so that the person can it's literally like you see they do on mainstream media, the same thing. It's a way to keep your mind entrained. And then for the amount on the money that it's gone through the Congress and the Senate, it's being reviewed for final review by Congress. It'll be for married couples that make under $150,000. They'll get $500 is a check. You need to either based on your either 2018 income tax, because we haven't filed 2019, or if you didn't file or you don't have to file, will be through your Social Security. And if you didn't pay in that year, you need to make sure there'll be an 800 number to call and get that money sent to an account or a check sent to you. And then for single people, it'll be $1,200 if you make under 75,000. Any amount over those figures, for every $100, it tapers off by $5. So it's not an instantaneous cutoff. So if you make 150,000,
okay,
$1, it doesn't mean you get nothing. You get $5 less for every 100 over that amount. For each child that's a minor child that you're taking care of in your home, you'll get $500. Also, for businesses under 500 employees, they're able to borrow up to $10 million. And that's a interest-free loan if they later prove that they used it to pay their employees for checks during the time they weren't working. They don't have to pay the loan back. And then Boeing got $250 billion, because if they go out of business, it pretty much destroys the airline industry. So they pretty much have to keep them in business, and larger businesses are getting a lot. If you go watch the last Black Conservative Patriot, it has a very quick and concise, if it's only about 19 minutes long, on about everything, with Grassley talking about the amounts as well.
Awesome. Thank you, Gene. Appreciate it. And hey, look at this, Gene. Did you see this one? So somebody did a Austin Steinbart CrowdStrike. I'm not sure if this is the right one and everything, but it looks like partner operations analyst at CrowdStrike. Wouldn't that be interesting? Now, obviously, I haven't verified that yet, but that's one.
Yeah, and that Dustin Nemos as well. Everybody should watch that. Like he said, the Q is not about threatening and breaking up the movement. He's calling out so many people that have been in the movement for a long time, like Praying Medic, Dustin Nemos, Jordan Sather, a lot of people.
Joe M., Julian Drum.
Yeah. What's the gal's name that's so famous? I forget her name. He called her.
I'm not sure which one you're talking
about. Linda, something like that. Mm-hmm. But anyway, that's exactly how a troll does. They get in and have a lot of information. Granted, at the beginning, he's got a lot of information. The last thing he does is starts attacking and dividing, because he founded himself on information, and his Q proofs aren't proofs at all. Going and saying that you use scripture like Q does, I mean, so do I. Mm-hmm. I'm not Q. It's like Dustin Nemos. I believe in God, so I'm Q.
Some of the most famous verses in all the Bible, right? Put on your armor of God. And you notice that Austin never talks about Q posts, and he never talks about the faith in the Lord. And this is a movement from the Lord, clearly. And Q talks about that.
He did reference some things to Q, and he referenced it incorrectly. Mm-hmm. So if he's Q, you would think he would know that word. He also talked about 8chan, and then said that it changed, and it's no longer that the Pharisees are no longer there in control, and through 8kun. If he was Q, he would know it's still the same Q, because you have the trip codes from one to the other that are identical. And then he did proofs again, and yet he's like debunking Q itself, subtly, but he's actually saying that Q isn't real by what he stated. That means that if he's Q, he's just debunked the fact that Q is not real. He's debunking himself.
Yeah, exactly.
He's starting to lose his mind.
Were you thinking about Lisa May Crowley? Is that who he called?
Yeah, Lisa May Crowley. Thank you, Michael Ray.
Yeah, all patriots in my book. I haven't seen anything they've said that makes me think. I mean, Joe M. didn't get any money for the book, as one example. I mean, my goodness, huge bestseller Q book, and he doesn't take 1 cent, and he's called out as a Pharisee. I mean, I don't know. He's done some pretty amazing. He seems like he has his heart in it. So yeah. So
it's like Dustin said. He predicted the virus within 2 or 3 months. He didn't call himself Q, and he was very accurate. I was telling people the same thing, that get ready, and I was telling people to get ready and get the MMS and that, because I knew it was coming. before most people knew. Just because I knew 6 months ago doesn't make me Q either. I'm not Q. Just because I know a lot of stuff and no one else did the DOMs, that doesn't make me Q. It's not even on the Q board. It doesn't make me Q.
Yeah, exactly right. And just a lot more about this. Here's something that says, Q, thank you for post 3902. Glad you stepped in to stop the fake Q and the lies. What a sense of relief that nonsense is now over. I sure hope so, guys. He's gonna fight just like I the Spy did when everything fell on him. He tries to move to something else. Now he's trying to move to this whole thing about New Zealand. Again, he probably has inside information that Trump's already got them happening, so that there might be something happening that he knows about, and he's trying to use that as a proof. That does not show he's Q. Okay? I can't thank Q enough for once again posting that one and only place he talks to us is on 8kun. I especially love these sentences. No comms made outside of this platform. Any claims that contradict the above should be considered fake news and disregarded immediately. Q asks us to consider the claims he posts outside of 8kun as fake news and need to be disregarded immediately. How much simpler can it be? There is no longer any reason to believe that Austin is Q. It is over. Couldn't agree more with this anon right here. Jordan.
Yeah. And then the one thing that would be super simple that I posted on several of his shows and nothing happened is if he's truly Q and controls the board, then do exactly what Q does with POTUS. But do it himself. Tweet with a 0 delta with a Q post. And he actually said, I don't have to do that because that's not a proof. That's the ultimate proof.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if Q's actually probably on Air Force One with Q plus Trump, right? And they're doing 0 deltas together. They do them all the time, right? So what? It's obviously this is still happening. He's given 0 deltas on 8kun after the switch over to the boards. Again, same owner, same board owner. And so there's zero logic that we're outside of the comms on 8kun. Zero logic, especially with everything being predicted to be on the DoD server and the IP addresses he gave us several years before. Amazing. Jordan Sater says, Q is on fire this morning, and one of the drops is an incredibly important reminder. No outside comms. CC, all those fake ass LARPs, sorry for the slip there, those fake LARPs out there claiming they're Q right now. Be careful who you follow and do your due diligence of research. Again, he just posted that. Notice everybody's scared to call him out. I did immediately. I found this on my phone. I put it said case closed at Austin Steinbart. And so I'm gonna be attacked here. I'm kind of got my neck out, and he's gonna fire back at me heavy. Appreciate your guys' support. Here he is. What's he trying to say? Dear haters, no outside comms was originally written on the Chans. Yet all of you are now taking orders from 8kun. This is zero logic. He on 8chan, which just simply is a Chinese word meaning child, right? And 8kun being young adult. As the same board owner, the same had to rescue it and put it on the DoD server away from the clowns who use their companies to take it down and their fake news media, right? So now he's saying the trip codes that Q's using, everything and how he's communicating with us in a beautiful fashion right now is fake? And he's real? Are you kidding me? There's no logic there, guys. There's no logic there. Don't let his neuro-linguistic programming, NLP programming on his videos that are only 5 or 10 seconds of clips with talking points from the clowns. Talking points from the same people that the MSM gets talking points. Okay? And
this is what is called circular reason, but in this case, he's actually reasoned against Q being existing real. And so since he said he is Q, he's just debunked himself.
Yeah, exactly. This is what Alex Jones did. Say, hey, now Q's not real. He lied to my face in the video when I trusted him. And he and Jerome Corsi together were lying to me in my face, telling me things I knew weren't false, that the CIA had taken over Q and Q was no longer in control of the board. Complete lies. This guy is doing the same thing. Complete lies. And please let's end this so we can, where we go one, we go all, and point our guns at the cabal. The very reason I knew this guy was false is because he was pointing his guns at us, at all of us. Anybody that...
I think now the best thing to do would be for all the Anons to just ignore this guy.
I think that's exactly right. So I'm probably
Like
giving way too much
said,
airtime.
Yeah, like Dustin said, you made me waste a whole afternoon.
Yeah, so we wasted half the show on something that we probably shouldn't have spent the time on. But I just wanted to make sure, guys, we got to move on. We got to come together. Remember, this is a where we go one, we go all movement. We're fighting for the Constitution, including not having people that are above the law, including people that can't game and screw other people to make money, right? We're not fighting to keep a two-tiered justice system in. We're fighting to eliminate the two-tiered and bring back the freedom of religion and the freedom that comes with our Constitution. That's what we're fighting for. So, again, this is time to move on. All right. Look at this. This is interesting, Gene. 89 million of us were infected with H1N1. 403,000 were hospitalized. 18,300 died. We still went to work. Now, this is more infective, right? It's more contagious. And so I think what we're doing is a thing that's going to end up benefiting us, right? But did we have to close down our entire society and go on stay-at-home orders? And there's something behind this, that Trump's allowing it to happen for the plan. I think it's going to backfire on him completely. It's going to get rid of it faster. A lot less people are going to die. I don't know if you had any thoughts on that, Gene.
Yeah, we had a lot of ambulances moving and emergency vehicles, and we were told to stay in our homes this afternoon. And we're near the air base here, and so we can hear the traffic. So there's obviously they tell you to stay in home and not go out. There's obviously stuff going on. I mean, I did see people out. I had to walk my girls, my doggy girls, and it was kind of amazing. It's like the 60s. Everybody was out walking. People I've never seen out there walking or in the park. It's like, wow. Of course, everybody keeping the social distancing, so it was all good.
Yeah. And I would really appreciate you guys' prayers because, obviously with these high-level anons actually getting attacked so hard, they won't even call this out, right? And so prayers for the safety of us all that with a very high-level agent with a lot of power, obviously, and a lot of knowledge coming after us. So appreciate your prayers as we move forward in this. Here's a discussion that you can find on vote.co, voa.co, and you see people actually talking about it. The first comment, what does it say? No outside comms. GTFO, Austin. Even though he is funny, I did wonder about him. This sealed it, though. I think you nailed it. He has some good info, but he is controlled disinformation. Some of his stories didn't add up to me, just didn't make sense. Then attacking other patriots, too. He looks like a clown by the way he talks. They all seem to have that mannerism. So anyway, this goes on and on and on about the silent war. This is part of the controlled opposition silent war is what it is. Great. Hey, this Anon does a great job. I'm not sure exactly who this is, but they do the wins of the day. And look at these wins. We got 9 of them here, and I'm just going to read them real quick. Epidemiologist widely cited for having predicted 2.2 million UK deaths from COVID-19 has revised the projection to 20,000. Less than the deaths from this year's flu season. So in UK, where this is going wild, and they didn't shut down China, etc., they predicted 2.2 million UK deaths. It's going to be 20,000. Less than the flu season. Okay, and they didn't do all the stay-at-home orders and all that stuff as early as we did, as far as the outbreaks times. I know a lot of them have now. Number 2, Biden let it slip that he's talking with foreign leaders. But that's okay with the MSM. Enemy of the people, right? It's mainstream media. Complete cabal talking points. Enemy of the people. Number 3, Maduro charged in U.S. court for drug trafficking. Unsealed indictment out from Barr to take down this communist dictator that destroyed Venezuela. starving people, their own people. 4. Bahrain and Belgium report that chlorine treatment touted by Trump and therefore maligned by the left is working. So the enemies of the people are now lying to people about their health, about people that could kill their family members or themselves. 5. The Gallup poll says the majority of Americans do not think media has done a good job on COVID-19, while 60% say Trump has done a good job. So people are seeing through this. People are watching Trump that have never watched politics before because it's their lives. It's their families' lives. They're having to stay home. People that would watch sports or hockey or all these other things or watch movies, these new movies. All these people are watching Trump. The ratings on these are that these little half hour, 45-minute briefings are phenomenal. People are watching that never watched before. That's part of the Great Awakening. Number 6, Trump's presidential approval rating at highest point in his presidency so far, and disapproval ratings at its lowest point. Pelosi's 80 years old today. Believe that? Bringing pharma production back to the U.S. could create 800,000 jobs. Now, how funny is that? They use this to try to shut down the economy, and what's going to be the end result is we're not dependent on China for our medications, and we create 800,000 more jobs. What's going to happen to this economy after this crisis? It is going to be amazing. 9, Dow adds another 1,351 points to go to 2252 as it's starting to already capture back its gains. And here's these articles that I have here about the projections, and you can see the articles that dig into the all 2.2 million dead people from COVID-19, they say in Europe. And obviously that did not happen. So all 9 of these articles I think I have up. Here's a Gateway Pundit off-the-record discussion that obviously Joe Biden is actually breaking the Logan Act, right? Probably given the cabal point of view. Once we get Trump out of office, we're gonna basically implement the 16-year plan to destroy America again. Here's Venezuela President Maduro wanted by DOJ for drug trafficking. Barr announces. Now that is pretty exciting if you just think about it. So here he is, Maduro, right? And wow, pretty exciting news. This is exciting news day today is what happened. And here's another article on it. Here he is talking again, just destroyed the entire country with Bernie Sanders type socialism, right? And the fact that he's indicted now is amazing. Here's Bahrain and Belgium report coronavirus treatment touted by Trump is working. So there's a whole thing about the test here and how they actually agree that this works extremely well, right? So the whole point is that the malaria type drug, especially when you combine it with a Z-Pack, works extremely well in combating this virus completely. So you could go back to work, and if you get sick, you go get once we get enough of it, I guess 6 million of them been sent from Israel to us. And who's going to be making them? Who's going to be saving the world from this virus? Looks like Israel with this medication. Majority of Americans don't approve of the news media's coronavirus response, the poll says. So people are seeing the media just hype this up and try to get everybody fearful. Reporters raised their hands, asked President Trump questions during a press briefing in the coronavirus attack force at the White House. So look at this. This is the full room. Now it's like they've spread it out every 6 feet. So only about 1/10 of the people in the room can actually get in there. So this is one way to reduce the amount of chaos of all these fake news media within the White House. Here's a Trump job approval rating surges to its highest points in presidency, and I think it's the lowest as far as and these are these fake news polls too. These are ones that are extremely low compared to other ones. The ones they actually talk about here, the Rasmussen seems to be most accurate. But again, a lot of people are scared because the media makes it scary to actually admit they're Trump supporters when they actually are. That's that whole Trump effect they talk about. And here's Nancy Pelosi, becomes a octogenarian. She's 80 years old. So that's kind of interesting. And so you can see there's some people that are actually older. Here you have Maxine Waters is 81. So you can tell, talk about being in there for life. And then even beyond life, maybe like RGB, right? Some of these cabal people can keep their positions beyond their life. Maybe we need some term limits for some judges as well. Here's reach the 800,000 jobs if we actually do this. If we bring our pharmaceutical jobs back, that is going to be amazing. A $126 billion industry. And maybe we'll actually get drugs that actually help us versus just treat the symptoms. Dow enters a bear market, adds 1,300 points on a $2 trillion relief package. So the fact that got passed has people realizing, wow, I'm going to be able to pay my bills. The economy is going to keep on rolling because people, that need to collect rent for their employees can actually collect rent, etc. Here's the SEIU union in California suddenly finds a mysterious stash of 39 million face masks 3 days after AG Bill Barr announces they're going after hoarders. So they knew that these guys had these. So that's how evil this cabal is. They don't care if we die. They don't care if they protect the American people. They believe they're above us, and taking down Trump is the most important thing to them. Becoming very clear to not just us that I know you know it, but your lefty friends are as well. Gene.
Yeah, it's exactly what we saw back before with the hurricane in Puerto Rico, where they put in a warehouse and they found it for the earthquakes that was full of rotted food now, but they could use the water and the toilet paper and all those Pampers and supplies that they had in trucks with stuff ready to roll that they just hid so people, and then their government and their governor said, oh, Trump didn't send anything, and he sent it, and then they squirreled it away and said he didn't send it and let the people suffer.
Yeah, down in Puerto Rico.
Exactly.
Yeah. This just shows you that we are dealing with people that literally have demons in them, right? And satanic controlled. And the country, our country as well as the world, almost got taken completely over. We were saved by the Lord in 2016. Amazing. And this is interesting. I don't know if you've heard of this guy. You probably have, Genius, with your knowledge base. General Smedley Butler.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, decorated Marine Corps officer. After 33 years, he retired, reflected, and realized war is just a scam. Wrote a book, War is a Racket. He was recruited by Prescott Bush and others to overthrow the government in the business plot of 1933. He played along to find out who was involved, then went to Congress to report it. Congress whitewashed it. Media never speaks of such treachery. He was a true hero. And here's a bunch of his quotes. Real interesting. I served all commissioned ranks from second lieutenant to major general. And during that period, I spent most of my time being a high-class muscle man for big business, for Wall Street, and for bankers. In short, I was a racketeer, a gangster for capitalism. Signed, Smedley Butler. Isn't that interesting? I helped make Mexico, especially Tampico, safe for American oil interests in 1914. I helped make Haiti and Cuba a decent place for the National City Bank boys to collect revenues in. I helped the raping of half a dozen Central American republics for the benefit of Wall Street. The record of racketeering is long. I helped purify Nicaragua for the International Banking House of Brown Brothers in 1909 to 1912. I bought light to the Dominican Republic for American sugar interests in 1916. In China, I helped to see it that the Standard Oil went its way unmolested. Smedley Butler. If only more of today's military personnel would realize that they are being used by owning elites as a publicly subsidized capitalist goon squad. So thank goodness, Gene, they've the white hats took control of the military and flipped it. That is just a miracle.
Yeah, he was a true patriot and hero, and realized that, like the military are under Obama, they're out there guarding the poppy fields in Afghanistan. It's pathetic.
Mm-hmm.
There's like, I didn't sign up to guard drugs that would kill our youth. This is pathetic. And on the days of darkness, I highly doubt. I've seen so many comments. I wanted to comment on this, that they're going to get rid of phones, because and POTUS is always about keeping people safe. Imagine that people that have heart attacks, how many people would die if you shut down all the phone system? They're not going to do that. POTUS is about keeping people safe, and he loves the people.
Yeah, so power and all that type of stuff hopefully will be up. And I just don't think those dates that people are predicting are going to happen. I hope they do, but I just don't want you to get caught in trying to predict them as a proof. That's what we shouldn't be doing, in my opinion.
Yeah, I would look for, that could be misleading comms, again, to keep the deep state off balance like they always do. And as far as any power outs, they might shut power down like they did in California before, to do brief things, and it wouldn't be long enough to even, and most likely, to worry about what's in your refrigerator.
Yeah. And this is interesting. Did you see what he said on, listen to this part, that what Fossey says.
The issue of safety, something that I want to make sure the American public understand. It's not only safety when you inject somebody and they get maybe an idiosyncratic reaction, they get a little allergic reaction, they get pain. There's safety associated. Does the vaccine make you worse? And there are diseases in which you vaccinate someone, they get infected with what you're trying to protect them with, and you actually enhance the infection. You can get a good feel for that in animal models.
You hear that? Wow. Fossey actually saying that a vaccine can actually make you worse. A lot of people were shocked that was actually coming public. Hey, with that, guys, I have a lot more to cover. Hey, tomorrow we have Carly Q coming on live on the show. So I'm going to have her on video. So if you've heard her laugh, and she does a lot of that, right? Like here she is tweeting right here. But Carly Q, the one that you'll hear laugh all the time on her videos when she's laughing about something that's so exciting for us patriots. She's also got audio albums as well, and does a lot of singing, and has Christian songs on there. So some hey Kiwi Patriot, cool stuff. And you'll see that Carly is going to be on video. So if you want to see what Carly looks like and to hear her story about how she became a Christian, how she became a patriot, and how she's turned her life around. And she just does a great job. If you don't know her, make sure you follow her on Twitter. It's Carly Q. So you see Karluska P, at Karluska P. But it says Carly, Karli Q. And she will be on. Look at this, Jim Comey. So she's got a great thing, and she's normally laughing at the end of her videos, which is one of her signatures. So you want to hear her laugh live and on video, then join us tomorrow. I'm sorry, not tomorrow. I said tomorrow. It's actually Saturday. I'm so sorry. So Friday, I was trying to get Mark on. He can't make it. And so we'll probably get Mark the following Friday, I'm hoping. But right now, what we're talking about with Carly is 4 o'clock Central Time, probably around 4:15 Central Time, at 5:15 Eastern Time. Carly Q will be live. And thanks for Lou, the moderator, who helped get the connection going, and talking with Carly about this. Again, she'll be live on video Saturday around 4:15. Exciting stuff. All right, I'll try to get a message out there about that here. Hey, if you want to see everything I just showed you, make sure you sign up for the right here. When you go right here, you just put your first name and your email address, and I'll send it. They automatically go to you each morning after the show's over, right? So I put a lot of work getting these show notes. You probably know. So if you want the show notes, go sign up for the email list, and look at, like, here's the one they did yesterday: Truth, Cabal, Backfire, Bible Study, Acts 19, and you can just see each one of these has quite a bit of great rendition, right? You can see how it comes up here. Makes it really great I think for a lot of people really love these show notes. So sign up for the show notes at blessed2teach.com. It's also how you get to backstage with me and Gene. Gene's been doing like longer sessions. I don't have that time tonight, but sometimes 15, 20, 30 minutes we talk backstage after the show. And so we've been getting some really good red pill information from Gene, plus the exclusives, plus the Searchy tool, plus our community, which has a ton of Gene. How many songs did you post last night on the backstage community of just red pill awesome music?
I think it was around 25.
25. So yeah. So
I mean, my favorite one, which is by Laura Bango, "Here Comes the Pain."
Right.
And they're feeling it now, and so those big storms you see in that video is what I was talking about backstage, and I can talk about here. It's the light cannons when the Q took down the Corona and satellites and all that. The Q Alliance, and they were fighting to get control of our skies above us, and they did. And I could see that here in Colorado, just like in that video. Mm-hmm. And then I put a lot of really fun videos in there and stuff like, I think my dog's a Democrat.
That's awesome. I love it. In the Matrix here. All right. Hey, I'm in the Matrix. I'm stealing Carly from you on video on Saturday, but would love to get in the Matrix on the show sometime. I know I've been invited to your show, but I'm working when your show's on. I have a full-time job, and so I've never been able to take in the Matrix and Shady up on their because they have a great show. I think it's at 1 p.m. Eastern time, Monday through Friday. They are the best at going back to past Q posts and analyzing them based on current events. The best, right? I love those guys. And so when I watch them when I can, I just don't have as much time as I would like. But again, hey, go to Backstage, and what you'll do here is you will just go to join Rick Backstage or join Backstage now, right? And you will see that right now it's 45% off the monthly fee to do yearly. So that's the special we have going on for this month. There'll be another special going on next month. And anybody that comes in at the $14.77, if I come with a deal that's less than that, we'll cancel that membership, get you on the cheaper plan. So feel free to jump on board now. You won't be locked in for life. I'll always allow you to get to the lowest price each time. But I love you guys, and I'd love for you guys to come and join the community, because we have a great time with prayer walls and with all this music and sharing recipes, and it's just a great red pill community. Most of all, you can use the powerful Searchy tool as well as the Zoom platform. So fun stuff. Come and join us here. Michelle, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Tell you what, with that, the last thing I wanted to let you guys know, we've sold out a lot of this stuff. Prepare with Rick. We've been talking about that for a long time. There's a shipping delay, but I think the 2-week supply has sold out. So this is a better deal anyway. It's $197, the best deal you'll get on 4 weeks of food supply. 2,000 calories, 12 food varieties. So go to preparewithrick.com. Get in line, because this is going to sell out too, guys. I'm pretty sure. My water filter has sold out too. So unfortunately, Water with Rick does not do that. Kiwi Patrick, thank you for all you do. Appreciate that. I think that's the Kiwi that, aren't you the Kiwi that has the shop here in actual Dallas, a beautiful art studio. I love that place. And you can see this is sold out as well. So again, get in line, go to preparewithrick.com, get this 4-week supply before this gets sold out. Again, it's not going to serve your short-term needs because there is longer shipping, but we always need to prepare now versus later. With that, guys, I'm going to wrap up because we're past the hour. I'm going to read Corinthians 5:17. I was going to read this energy now. I'll do that next time. But this is Corinthians 5:17. Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, the new creation has come, the old is gone, the new is here. Corinthians 5:17. Remember, I was talking about this on the Bible study yesterday that we did on Acts 19. Is that when you're baptized, it's like you're buried with Christ, right? While you're going to the water, and that's a symbolism. And then when you are come out of the water, it's like you are a brand new creation. He puts a new spirit and heart in you. He rips out that heart of stone and he puts in the heart of flesh, and you are a new creation. And Corinthians 5:17 talks about that. What's it say? Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, the new creation has come, The old is gone, the new is here. So if you become that new creation, if not, it's pretty simple. You just accept that free gift of Christ. 100% Christ and 0% you is how you get to heaven. That's very clear because it's not of your works. It's your faith. It is by grace you have been saved through faith, and it's not of yourselves. It's a gift of God so that nobody can boast. That way, nobody can say, I'm a Christian because I did this. No, I'm a Christian. Why? Because I trusted in Christ. I repented and trusted in Christ. I accepted a free gift. That's not works. And then, once you change, you become this new creation. You're buried with Christ and you're alive with Christ and you're a new creation. That is when you will start doing good works. And if you don't feel like you want to do good works, and you say you're a Christian, that means it probably was in your head and never got to your heart. And you didn't become a new creation. That's what it means when it says faith without works is dead. Means that you think you have faith in your head, but it didn't go down to your heart. You didn't become a new creation, and you didn't want to do good things for the Lord. Once you become that new creation, he changes you from the inside. You have the Holy Spirit in you, and you have a saving faith. And you will do good works. Just as the next verse says in Ephesians 2:8-9, you were made for the workmanship of God, right? So that is the difference. The true gospel in it. Faith versus works. Very important because every other religion messes that up because Satan is a deceiver. So make sure you have the right gospel, the right Jesus, and the right God. With that, I'm going to end, guys, and just say thank you so much for joining me here. It's been an amazing time. Thank you, Gene, for joining as well. This is the Traitors Hunt. I'm sorry, Gene, did you have something?
Just saying thank you too, Rick.
All right. And again, this was the Traitors Hunt, guys. Exciting things going on. We have no outside comms. Remember that? And we are about ready to see an incredible takedown of the cabal over the next 2 or 3 years. So buckle up. It's going to be exciting. God bless you guys. We'll talk to you next time. You've just listened to the Blessed Teach Show. You're now empowered with the truth. Don't miss the edited short B2T clips on a new channel called B2T Clips. A big thank you to all the supporters on Patreon and PayPal. You are truly appreciated. For the links to these sites, as well as links for show notes, Backstage with Blessed to Teach, training courses, and more, visit blessedtoteach.com. That's blessed with the number 2, teach.com. God bless, and be sure to go empower others with the truth.